Okay, my name is Megan Bagwell. Thank you for all coming tonight and giving us your attention. DA Ann Kelly will be giving a statement here just shortly. If there's any further questions after her statement and a couple questions, there's always our media platform, and you could reach us at media@da12.state.co.us. If it is a concerned citizen and not the media that wants to reach us, please email us at district.attorney@da12.state.co.us. DA Ann Kelly.
Thank you for being here tonight. My name is Ann Kelly, and I'm the District Attorney for the 12th Judicial District, which includes 6 counties, including the County of Costilla. Last night, the 12th Judicial District Grand Jury handed down several indictments against the Costilla County Sheriff, Danny Sanchez, Undersheriff Cruz Soto, and 3 other deputies. The charges stem from 2 separate incidents uncovered during an investigation from my office, which is now ongoing. Specifically, Danny Sanchez and former Deputy Keith Schultz were indicted on 5 counts each of official misconduct and 1 count each of abuse of a corpse for their handling of the discovery of unidentified remains in the Wild Horse Mesa area of Costilla County in 2024. Undersheriff Cruz Soto was indicted last night on 2 counts of failing to intervene, 1 count of third-degree assault, and counts of official misconduct for his involvement in a use of force incident involving a citizen suffering from a mental health crisis. Sergeant Caleb Sanchez and Deputy Roland Riley were also indicted on counts of assault in the 2nd and 3rd degree for their involvement and use of force in that incident. All 5 individuals have turned themselves in to authorities and are expected to post bond today. They will be released. The Attorney General's office assisted the office with the presentation of these indictments to the grand jury. These indictments alone do not provide authority to remove elected officials and their deputies. I want to recognize the work of Chief Investigator Michael Martinez and the other deputy investigators with my office. They did tremendous work that has lasted for more than a year. They've responded to citizen reports of misconduct. They've investigated that misconduct by the sheriff's office, and finally, they presented the information to the grand jury in a professional and fair manner. The indictments, which have now been unsealed, contain the acts that support the counts in the indictments. I want to also recognize the assistance of the Colorado Bureau of Investigation, who have provided critical support for our district attorney investigators. The Costilla County Commissioners are present here today. I am appreciative of working alongside them to make sure we have open lines of communication to ensure the safety of the citizens of Costilla County. I am and have always been an unwavering champion of the men and women in law enforcement who put on that uniform and risk their lives every day for the safety of our communities. I have worked alongside over 100 law enforcement agencies across the state of Colorado throughout my career as a prosecutor. To work with these courageous and brave men and women is the best part of my job. My office fully supports law enforcement in the San Luis Valley. But in order to support these honorable and brave men and women, I cannot and will not ignore violations of the trust that a community should have in their police. No citizen of the San Luis Valley should have any doubts about the integrity of their police force. This office is not afraid to defend that trust. Thank you very much for your time. I can answer questions if you have any. Yes, sir.
So since they cannot be removed, how are they going to be continued to allow to enforce the law in their official capacities, specifically sheriff and undersheriff?
Thank you for that question. The question was whether or not the sheriffs are going to be permitted to allow to continue their duties in the sheriff's office. There is no mechanism with these indictments that authorizes the removal of the sheriff from office. These indictments are merely allegations, and these individuals are innocent until proven guilty. And so that is a decision that these deputies and the sheriff have to make. Yes, ma'am.
Is your investigation continuing, and do you expect to uncover any other problems and issues?
Our investigation is continuing. We have been investigating for over a year now, and we will continue with our efforts to investigate, specifically to respond to and look into all reports from citizens of Costilla County about police misconduct.
How is investigating these allegations of misconduct impacted your office's relationship with the sheriff's office?
We have maintained a relationship with the sheriff's office to the extent that we are pursuing criminal cases coming out of the sheriff's office. It has obviously been challenging, but I look forward to and hope for the strengthening of that relationship in the future.
If they all do resign, is there a plan in place to provide supports to the Costilla County Sheriff's Office?
The question was, and thank you for that question, the question was whether or not there is a plan in place to provide for police services in Costilla County. There are deputies still employed that have not been indicted in Costilla County. I have also reached out to both the Colorado Bureau of Investigation and Colorado State Patrol, who by statute are permitted to provide assistance in patrol of this area, and I anticipate that we'll have those discussions.
Yeah, leading on to that question, what do you have to say to the Costilla community who might not trust the department right now with everything that's happening right now?
And I think the question is, what do you do as a citizen of Costilla County when you're faced with this kind of information and this kind of news? The citizens of Costilla County deserve to have trust in their law enforcement. They deserve to have a sheriff's office that works for them to protect them and keep them safe. What we are doing is making sure that we do everything we can to rebuild that trust. And I'm so glad that the commissioners are here today, because we are all focused on that goal, to restore trust in law enforcement in Costilla County. And we're very hopeful that this will be part of the plan going forward. The Costilla County citizens deserve it. They deserve it.
Sorry, last summer you spoke to us about concerns about how the Costilla County Sheriff's Office was handling evidence. Are these charges a result of those concerns and investigations by your office, or are more charges coming?
Thank you. The question was about the presentation I made to the commissioners about a year ago regarding my concerns about the evidence handling of the Costilla County Sheriff's Office. That investigation is continued. We are still facing challenges with our ability to get evidence from the Costilla County Sheriff's Office, and that's something that we are working very closely with the commissioners to try to address.
In light of this news, do you still intend on having the community meeting in April with the Costilla County residents? Does it change the dynamic of that meeting at all?
Yes, we are planning to have a meeting that Costilla County residents can come and talk to me directly about the concerns they have. Again, with our goal of rebuilding trust in that community, I want to make sure that we're working very closely with our leaders to address the concerns that our citizens are having. So yes, that meeting is still scheduled for April 2nd at 6 o'clock. We will be meeting at the Alamosa County Courthouse to be able to provide a forum for people to talk to me directly about the concerns that they're having. Absolutely.
I just have kind of a logistic question. So are you saying to Costilla County residents, something gets stolen, something gets beaten up, something like that, go ahead and call the sheriff's office?
You can call 911, so you can call your dispatch. Your dispatch will be able to identify the agencies that are going to be able to assist you. So if that's the sheriff's office right now, then that's the sheriff's office. Like I said, there are still deputies that are working and patrolling the streets in Costilla County, and I applaud their courage, and I anticipate that they're going to be doing excellent work going forward. My request to CBI and to the Colorado State Patrol is to provide some assistance should there be a gap in those services.
How many deputies are on staff at the Costilla County Sheriff's Office?
I don't have that exact number now. We don't have the exact number.
What conditions, if any, are there if or when they do post bond?
So the conditions would be, in all criminal cases, a mandatory protection order would be put into place, and that protection order would require them to basically not to contact the witnesses that might be witnesses in that case. And other bond conditions are going to be set by our chief judge, and that hearing will be on April 1st in Costilla County.
Any cases involving the people who are accused of these crimes, are all of their investigations going to be reviewed again?
That's a great question. So at this point, we do not have any allegations of dishonesty, and so we will be reviewing their work, but we do not have any mandatory disclosures to provide with respect to that. And I'll take maybe one more question.
Are other local sheriffs, including Sheriff Robert Jackson, are they up to speed on this? Have you discussed this with other sheriffs, other local law enforcement leaders in the valley?
Absolutely. So the question was whether or not I have communication with other leaders of law enforcement in the valley. We have an amazingly strong system of communication here with the leaders of our sheriff's departments and our police departments. I have been in contact with all of our sheriffs here in the San Luis Valley. Yes, sir.
Different topic, since we have you.
Yes.
Wanted to ask if you had any update you could provide on the investigation in Town Center and the former trustee there.
Yep. And I can provide that maybe at a later time. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
One last question.
Yeah.
You have been in dialogue with the office, the sheriff's office, a lot over the months.
We have.
Did they anticipate this coming? I mean, when you guys showed up with your did they anticipate that?
I don't know. I don't know. We have been in dialogue and we have been raising our concerns and our challenges with them over the past several months to up to a year. So thank you so very much for coming, and I hope that I answered all of your questions.